leaves at 10. Oh, I'm where I wanna be, just you and me.
Welcome to another episode, another edition of Like Father.
Like son.
I am your host, Mr. Unknown. My guy Kojo is hanging out this evening. He about to go to Barnes and Nobles and grab him a book or something like that. So it's just me. It's just me and you and me, and we hanging out on this Monday evening. It's about 6:36 and 27 seconds. I'm kind of making that up as I'm going along. I hope everyone is having a great evening. My day has been going pretty well. My evening so far so good. And I don't know if all of you know, but today is National Women's Day, right? And outside of it being National Women's Day, it's National Women's Month. And just to be honest with you, I don't remember. I don't recollect it being a big deal. Just like any other body else, just like any other rest of these holidays that are celebrated, like Christmas, like 4th of July, like St. Patrick's Day, like Valentine's Day, New Year's. And why not? Why isn't Women's Day celebrated just as significant as the rest of the holidays in our country, the United States of America? So it's quite ironic, but we're going to give respect and honor. And I'm going to be honest with you. The only reason that this month we haven't spoke more about National Women's Month is simply because I didn't know. I'm just being honest with you. But now that I know, and I first heard, I was looking at I was looking on my Instagram this morning at like 6 o'clock. What's up, brother? And I noticed that my guy Cam Newton was making breakfast for his daughter, or his daughters. I believe he has more than one daughter. And he also posted something along the lines of it's National Women's Day. And so, with that being said, I thought, of course, I would try and I wouldn't try anything. I would bring National Women's to our show. And when you think about women in general, they are they're quite precious. They're very delicate. Their their emotions kind of surpass us males. Their compassion, their warmth, their love, their energy has something that the average guy has to kind of in his mind debate how and why it happens in from their point of view, right? And so I think it's a beautiful thing that there is a National Women's Month and there's a National Women's Day, right? So let's give a little bit of facts here. According to the National Women's History Alliance, states began declaring the whole month of March as Women's History Month all the way up until 1986, when a more national push finally made headway. The following year, Congress declared March 1987 as the first official Women's History Month. Now, I didn't know that. Let's see, what does that truly mean? National history. I think it's something along the lines of whenever you're giving recognition to someone or a group or a culture or an organization, I think maybe it's more of it's kind of was forgotten. Maybe you're not respecting the cherishable um, or acknowledging the great contribution of someone, some group, women. So let's see. So this was started by a Utah senator, Orrin Hatch, and Maryland Representative Barbara Mikulski co-sponsored the first joint congressional resolution of March 8th, which today is March 8th, 1981, the National Women's History Week. And then, like I said before, by 1987, Congress declared that the entire month of March was Women History Month. So, but maybe you meant, what does it truly mean that I don't know about it, and that I didn't know about it, and it wasn't, it's not expressed the way all of the rest of the holidays are. And if that's what you were saying, I'm going to respond to that, even if you weren't. I think that, yes, happy Women's Day to you, she. So I think that one of those reasons is probably the kind of the stance that the male takes on the female, right? And the kind of whole holding power, so to speak. And, from my knowledge and from my, and, men, check that, not most men, but most men that I know were raised by females. And if you all notice, right, I always have my grandmother behind me. And that's because she's my rock. She's my stone. And they always say that God is a woman. I mean, I check that, a man. And I personally have always mentally kind of questioned that, simply because, excuse me, the role that women have always played, definitely in my life, right? And especially how strong my grandmother was, and seeing her provide for a family, and knowing all that she did for my family and the extension of our family, bringing other family members from the state she was born in, which was Texas, and giving opportunities to stay with them, to stay with her, or them being the aunts and uncles and my mom and those, so that they can better off, or should I say, make that transition from kind of country life to city life. Let's see, another social creation of something we should already value. Yes. And I think that, hold on one second. My mouth is drier than the Mojave Desert. The Mojave Desert this past 2020 was the hottest in like almost forever, maybe like almost forever. That's how dry my mouth was right there. But which was about 126 or something like that, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere up in there. Maybe even got up to 30. But anyway, when you think of how it's undervalued, how women are undervalued, it goes into like how a basketball player, right, makes tons and tons of millions of dollars, and the male, but the female doesn't even make a third of what the males make, right? You think about one of the leading industries, not necessarily industries, but one of the a career that has probably, I don't know, 70% females, which is like teachers. And what are the coincidence that teachers who teach all of our children, other than you being the person who homeschooled your child from kindergarten or from birth on, they're usually the nourishers of your child's mind and emotions and kind of creations. And for whatever reason, teachers aren't paid that much. And so, it's it is truly ironic how we don't necessarily know, or should I say, cherish certain things. Now, we know that as men, right, or just in general, right? But I'm gonna go from man. I'm gonna go from a man's point of view. From a man's point of view, there's always kind of this kind of give and take with the female species, right? And what I mean by that is there's always, because like I said, it's always kind of this kind of male dominance type of attitude. And when a man doesn't have that type of attitude, then he's looked down upon. But we do know that, what is it? What is it? 52 chromosomes? Is it 52? I believe it is. And half of those, what is it? 26, if I'm not mistaken. Please, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. 26 of them are of the female species, the other half being the male species that help create you. And when we end up favoring the mother, favoring the female in the aspect that we came out of the female, we sat in the female's body for 9 months, and I swear to you, there's no way on earth that a lot of men don't flat out forget that. I am one of them, that I will just totally, I'm gonna go ahead and say ignore. I'm gonna use the real word. Just ignore the fact that all of my sons flat out stayed in their mother for 9 months plus while growing from a sperm, an atom, until becoming 8 pounds, 7 ounces. Okay, that's little Chris. 6 pounds, 3.8 ounces. That's Asante and Kobe. Now, when they end up, you know, if you're in the midst of a disagreement, or the kids just want to go with the mother just because, us as men, we feel a particular way. We feel, you know, like, oh, you may be soft, or, you know, oh, you're on your mama's side and things like that. But the fact of the matter is that if you really, there's never been a man, unless he, you know, has other scenarios where he's been characterized as a flower, meaning soft touch to it, gentle to it, right? And a young lady has. And so the moment that we're not gentle to the woman, the queen, then are somewhat damaging ourselves. So it's just like how people say, hey, I'm going to grow me a garden and I'm going to have some fresh organic food. I'm not going to put any pesticides. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make sure that if a few bugs and stuff need to eat off of it, it's all good because it's natural. It's nature. It's what's supposed to happen. But are we as nourishing, as caring, as loving, as supportive when you're trying to grow your fruits and vegetables, or even your marijuana, as you are to the actual human of a woman? And I'm going to compare that to people and their love and desire for the pet, like the dog, right? People are infatuated with dogs. Oh, I love my dog. My dog, I got this dog. And oh, my dog, please don't hurt my dog, my dog, my dog, right? And fine, that's cool. If that's your pet, that's your companion, that's your homie, that's your loved one, that's your family member, no problem. But there's no way on earth that anybody could ever sell to me that a dog's life is more than a human's life. Now, if you want to say they're comparable, okay, cool. That's your personal choice, right? That's your choice, right? But a human, so what I'm saying is that we end up cherishing things that may not deserve as much cherishing and then neglect those that do. And so it's a real fine line. And so we have to take the time to put ourselves in a position and in a mental capacity to love the female no matter what. Now, you know how like some men, they like, oh, I ain't got time for her and I don't got time for these situations. But the fact of the matter is that you don't want to be without her though. You can talk all you want to talk. You don't want to be without her. You can say you make me sick. You can say all of that. You don't want to be without that female species that you are in relations with. You can say all you want. All you want. Nobody wants to be left alone, especially when you have a nourishing, a compassionate, heart-warmed female that has been a part of what you're doing, your beliefs, your dreams. And women are those species for life, not even necessarily for men, but the old story goes that men are for women and women are for men. So it makes that kind of combination. Now we've evolved in life, so we continuously progress, and that's fine. That's what happens in life. Things do happen and things do change. But from my point of view, I know that we need to do more to respect, honor, love, cherish, and give back to female. We know that along with all of the numerous damaging situations and scenarios that have happened in the past, well, the female was one of them. And they've always kind of been on the back burner or attempting to be on the back burner as they fight for their respect and their honor and their love, knowing that they deserve it, knowing that they are capable of it, and pretty much can accomplish what men can accomplish. Now, I know that sometimes, men don't want to hear these type of things because of our personal egos. But whenever we can sit our egos down, after we're done being mad, after we're done being super testosterone guy, after you're done lifting 150 pounds and you thought you were super tough, after you were done wearing your little tight shirt and you was like, yeah, I'm buff today. After all of that, you still don't want her to go nowhere because you know her qualities. You know her love. You know the support. You know all of the components and her makeup and how it helps and benefits you. And I want to say to every woman who may be going through a little bit of something, you are the most beautiful list. Can you be the beautiful list? The most beautiful, precious commodity on planet Earth. Now, I think a lot of myself, I really do. But I know that women hold such a higher power than myself. That's just what I believe. And I always will just refer it back to this young lady right here every time, right? Because that's what I know. That's just what I know. I've seen a lot of men. I've seen a lot of women. I've seen a lot of males. I've seen a lot of females. And all I can tell you is that the females, through it all, have been able to hold on, to continuously build. And even when they're by themselves, they still build. Even when all odds are against, they still build. Now, does that mean that the male doesn't build? I'm not saying that, but what I'm telling you is that the woman has always kind of survived it. The woman has always survived the BS in this world. So it's it's you know it's it's you think about how what role, like if you really think about what role a woman played in your life. And I know some people, they think to themselves, well, well, my mom or my grandma or my auntie, my dad was the most, right, was the strongest, things like that. And that's cool, I get it, right? But it is National Women's Day, it is National Women's Month, and so we're giving the love and the respect to the woman. Okay, period. And that's just, what it is. And there's no way that a woman isn't deserving of the recognition, of the high honor. So hold on, let's see. But I'm trying to know what's happening here. But so anyway, let's see. Oh, you just jumping all over the place there, Chichi. So you know, I just wanna name a few of some great women. There's the incomparable Oprah Winfrey, right? And then you got Kamala Harris, who just became our first woman's vice president. You know, like ever, right? And and you got Sojourner Truth, who was a part of um, abolishing slavery. And, of course, you have Harriet Tubman, you know, who, freed hundreds of slaves and things like that, and, you know, I don't necessarily know any names, but I'm just going to keep it 1 billion from a black man's point of view, because you know that in history, there were tons of white women, Caucasian women, that were going through whatever they were going through in their homes and um, in their yeah, just in their homes, and somewhere in their heart, they felt to bring a black in and teach them to read, probably knowing that they had to work on themselves so that they can get maybe into heaven or something like that. I don't know, but I'm gonna give shout out to it straight up, right? I'm gonna give a shout out to that, because I think that's um let's see, I think that's respectable acknowledgement, right? um let's see here. Want to give a shout out to Alice Fong Yu, right? She was the first Chinese American public school teacher in California. Okay. Um, every struggle, there is always a component or idea that lessens the value of the number of struggles. Every struggle, there is always a component or an idea that lessens the value of the number of struggles. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You are right. You know, you are right. You are head on there. Let's see. There is a school named after Alice Fong Yu. Let's see. Uh, You frozen. I'm frozen. Am I? No, man. I think I just wasn't saying nothing. Maybe that's just what it was. I could have just been frozen, but maybe I just wasn't talking for a moment there. Let's see here. I see you there, Sean Wright. That's Sean Wright. Giving shots out to Sean Wright. Yeah, I see you. I see you. Let's give let's see here. For all of you women, all of you men, and all of you women, please make sure that you just thank a female for even being here, for being alive, right? And again, like I say, every single one of us, if there's not a female, how do we get here? So that's probably why I always question whether God is a man or a woman. Like straight up, that's just what I feel. Because why didn't it end up where babies come from men? Obviously, maybe we don't have like the areas for it to happen, but doesn't mean that however we first originally was started and created and born into the world out of dust, why didn't the male end up giving birth if the man is the God and the highest power? So it's a human life should be appreciated and individuals should be recognized on their merits. So you're saying that there shouldn't be national days in respecting the whole as a whole? Because I think when they have national, Women's Day, National Men's Day, when they have Father's Day, they have Mother's Day, they have Filipino month, they have Latino Hispanic month, Black History Month. When you have all of these, I think those are all just, oops, we blew it. And so now we need to recognize and give the honor to those, however you choose to honor it. That's what I think. And I think that it gives every person on earth, or at least in the America, a chance to rethink. Because what's the old saying? Out of sight, out of mind. And I know that's the truth, right? That's why I sent all of y'all the President of the United States song again. So go on and repost that, because if it's out of your sight, it's out of your mind. And because at least from my point of view, scenarios like this, like Women's Day, Women's Week, Women's Respect, Women's, month, all it does, it just fuels me to help me, okay, Chris, really recognize who you're dealing with, who you're loving, who you're respecting. And if you have any relations with a female, any type of relations, then make sure that you're doing it in an honorable, respectful way, right? Happy Women's Day to all the ladies. I don't want to project a negative attitude towards you with all BC, y'all. Oh, with all y'all, because y'all great. True value of all life, we wouldn't have to do this. That's what I'm saying. I think that America is good in an aspect of, hey, how can we right our wrongs on whatever they choose to right their wrong on? But whenever they get to the point of wanting to right their wrong, then they'll just shoot to it and let's just do it. But like I said, this has been going on since 81 as black, right? As Women's History Week, and then it became Women's History Month 6 years later. And I swear to you that it was not that it ain't been significant in my mind, in my life. And I believe also in 80s, that's when the Hispanic Heritage Month was. And you know, so it's just like, and it probably is part of what you're saying. If, you know, we just had value and true value of life, we wouldn't have to do this. This is facts. This is facts. But maybe, you know, because, you know, I'm not, you know, the historian. Maybe it's midget, but in the scenario of, it's almost like how I said that January 19th, I made up my own holiday, y'all. January 19th, starting 2022 and beyond, will be a holiday for me. And that's the day my grandma's birthday is. And she died last year, 2020, somewhere, I think in May or something. And that's going to be my holiday. And that's in honor and respect of her. So it could be that it was started in the aspect of, hey, let's just send love to ourselves. Let's just create a day and a month that would, or, you know, a week that would give us some love and gratitude and honor, you know? So that's not bad. That's not wrong either. That's not wrong at all, you know? But we do know that in history, women have been a delicate individual that has been mistreated, overlooked, and undervalued. And as we keep pushing each and every day, we have to make sure that we don't do that, because I'm going to say it again. You can say what you want, but let that woman not call you. Let that woman not come no more, and see how you really feel. Because some of the stuff we know as men, we just be talking. But the reality is that no, please don't go nowhere. Oh, did you mention? Oh my God, please don't. Right? Let's see. It's only good at deflection of true appreciation of life. The crazy part is civil rights movement has boosted all these types of movements pushed by legislation. Yeah, yeah. Well, hey, that just goes back into how strong of a people we are. As you bring that point across, right? The music changes, the wardrobe changes, the way you speak changes, right? I got a friend, and they asked the individual, "Do you hang out with black people?" Now this person is not black, but because of that person hanging with a black, somehow my lingo kind of drew itself right into that individual, because not that we're better than whatever or whoever, it's just that we're needle movers, period. Culture gets changed by us. A person could listen to rap music all day, all night. Ain't never been around a black person all their life, right? And that's just how it goes, because it's something different about us that, like you said, something happens and it's like, oh, well, they did it, and or I like it, you know. But the fact of the matter is that we're not going to get away from the subject. And the subject is Women's History Month and women's acknowledging the woman, and knowing that it was started over 35 years ago or so. And I believe that we can always figure out ways to give more love, period, always, right? Always. And let's see, in most cases these things are started from some type of mistreatment. Particular religion, cultures don't allow women to do anything but take care of household duties. Do they celebrate Women's Day in Dubai? God damn. I need to, can I wet my whistle for this one? That's amazing. Because that's so deep. That's so deep, and that's so, I'm glad that you brought that up, though. I swear I'm glad, because that just keeps the conversation kind of going a little bit, right? And so I was reading this book, and it's called Green Bicycle. And I didn't have all this stuff on. Let me see. I think it's right over there, but let me see. I usually have a book kind of close to me, but it's I want to say Arabian lady who wrote this book called Green Bicycle. And in the book, it speaks on how the woman wasn't able to do a lot of things, and how females weren't able to just simply ride bicycles. Excuse me. So to your point, that is so true. So when you go Dubai, you can go Arabia, you can go all of the kind of Middle Eastern countries, and I'm pretty sure in other countries, in other continents, people are very similar in thoughts and feelings about how a woman should or should not do or live, right? Because there are other nationalities, other ethnicities for sure that have a particular feeling on how women should be treated or and recognized or greeted, right? But then let's think about that. And like you said, that's all based off being mistreated. But that's even more of a reason why it is kind of important. It is important. It is important because we may see someone from Dubai and may not give her any respect because she may have something or be in a scenario where she's not recognized, accepted because of one reason or another. But that doesn't mean that she shouldn't be honored, right? And maybe everyone's not, and that's wrong. I mean, that's like its own little torture in itself, of because a lot of men and it's based on us, right? But but like you say, religion too, right? But then it's still based on us as men and our ways and making our adjustments. As a man, we can be pretty tough on the female species, straight up. And it's okay to release some of that. It is okay. It's okay to release a lot of it. Because a man and a woman, honestly, they are equal. And I know that that's hard for some people to understand and respect. But we have to give that respect. We just do. Now, that doesn't mean that a man or a woman can't take charge, right? And yes, a man is supposed to be the head of the household, but that doesn't mean that a woman, and again, I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen a woman run a household, and she didn't run my grandfather. She just ran the household. If he stood up and had to say what he had to say, she was silent. But she ran the household. He would sit back, and if you had something to say and you're talking to his wife, it better be at a particular tone. If it raised anything over 5, he was barking at you. He was roaring at you. Don't you talk to my wife like that. But at the same time, she was the head and she ran it, and it ran correctly. So I may have a particular feeling, but on the other hand, I can respect what I seen with my own eyes. Now, I was raised by her, so she taught me how to be a man by watching a woman do things in a particular way. But she didn't say, hey, Chris, make sure that when you get older, you have your situation kind of similar to where, you let your woman run the whole scenario. My grandfather let her run it for whatever reason, whatever agreement they came, and that's fine. Like I say, what I seen was she ran the household. She cooked dinner. She went to work. She brought home the money, and he brought home his money. He gave his check to her. Now that could be simply because she was organized. She could have just been organized, which means you had a good one on your team. So, but whatever it may be, however the scenario is, it has to be honored. And we have to give that love and respect to the female, straight up. The idea that conservative principles here in America, the fight over abortion is huge. How does that show respect to women now with having National Women's Day? Pow, pow, pow. Hold on, let's see. I can't even get to the next question because you keep powering me right here in my chin, right here. Like, y'all see a cut? Because you just keep blowing me right there. But I got a good corner woman. Oh, you like how I came with that one? You're right. And I'm not even going to touch the whole abortion thing. I'm not touching that. Okay? I'm not a woman. I've never had a human in here in my belly, or thought a human was going to grow in there, or just the thought process. All I've had was gas. Okay? Gas after ice cream. Okay? Some cheese, some yogurt. Okay? Gas. Not a human. So I don't know. I'm not messing with that. But when you're talking about Women's Month, respecting, honoring, these are the things. And it's so fascinating and gratifying that you're bringing this up, because you are shedding light on the things that the light should be shed on, which is how it can really be looked at, right? On, wait, man, I might have had a feeling, but now I can kind of release kind of some of all this ego I had, whether man or woman, because women, there's some women who feel, particular ways about abortion too, right? I know my wife, if she ever got pregnant, she's not having no abortion. You could just chalk that one up. We would just be popping children out left and right and left. And so, we had to slow down a long time ago, because we don't need to just be popping children out, because that's hard. Okay, so let's see. Traditional women were more impactful than some of these women today. No disrespect, ladies. Hey, look here. Hey, don't be striking fire over here, okay? Because you striking it. But that's okay, because every now and then you need a little fire, because you might be cold. So all we need is some wood now, so we can warm up a little bit. But yeah, I mean, but in what aspect are women were they more impactful than the women these days? Because women now are stepping out of their box, and they are completely independent, and they are bringing in half, if not more, than the males. They are contributing massively. They are in the position of leadership. They're leading households, but women have always led households. Always. Okay. The saying. The saying is happy wife, happy life. I'm not the biggest fan of that, but whatever, right? But you ain't never heard no keep your man, what they say, just put some food in his belly. That's our line right there. If you feed him, he'll be fine, right? So just stuff him with some food, he'll be fine. But then it's happy wife, happy life, right? So when it's all said and done, all it does is give us all a start. I ain't starting nothing. Yeah, yeah. You say you ain't starting nothing, but God darn it. You know, at the end of the day, we want to respect the women. We want to respect what they've done, what they've gone through, right? You know, a lot of times a woman may say that, you know, something happened to her or, you know, raped and things like that. People don't believe them, right? There's all types of cases where things have happened in life and they just haven't gotten the honor that they're supposed to have, you know? So no one screws that happy wife crap. It's 50-50. Oh, no, no, screw that happy wife crap. Yeah, I believe that too, right? I think we both keep each other happy, and that's how it rolls, right? Um, but no, in the words of Professional Dad 24/7, no disrespect to the woman. I just think it should be equal on the happiness, right? And when you don't know, watch this, when you don't know or you haven't really recognized or you haven't really given the time and the energy to something, in situations like this, Women's History Month, Women's History Day, and you haven't really, you know, this would be the day. Like I literally went outside and I cleaned my wife's trunk. Why did I choose to do it today? I have no idea. It was hella stuff in there. But you know what? This was the day to do it. It just kind of rolled with the scenario. I cleaned my car out first, and then I was like, should I be talking about it? I'll be thinking about it. Let me just do it. And I did it. And what does it do? All it does is it leads me into positivity. You see what I'm saying? It leads me into positivity of the woman. You don't know what's going to lead you into positivity or negativity for that matter. So when something comes up that kind of almost like all of these little holidays, right? No, it's Fourth of July. I mean, not Fourth of July. Yeah, Fourth of July, but it's Valentine's Day. It's basically saying, even though it's a money hustle, that's for sure, right? It also can be looked at because you know I'm a person who looks at the glass half empty all the time, so I need to involve looking at the glass half full, where it could just be also someone was like, you know what, I need to just figure out how to get my baby something right now on this regular day. Here's Valentine's Day, right? That's just a positive way to look at it, okay? Uh, those are coupons for later, but you're supposed to help. Oh, God. So he says, those are coupons for later, but you're supposed to help when needed. These are facts, right? And coupons, right? Man, woman, coupons, you know, yeah, you kind of got to figure it out for yourself. Plus, that's kind of an inside thing. It keeps homes right doing things monthly. It keeps home right doing things monthly. It does, right? And also keeps, you know, it keeps the sanity, it keeps the happiness, keeps your house clean, you know. So, you know, with all that being said, happy Women's Day to any woman that is on here, to all of you men that are hanging out on here. Make sure that you send that love to a female tonight. I know you know more than three, so go on and send that love, even just through text or call, or you know. And if you have already done it because you knew about Women's History Month, then you're good. You're good. You're solid, right? But if you didn't know and you're like, oh yeah, or you know, just go and get that love and that respect and that honor, and then roll from there, right? Just roll from there. Not, oh, you know what? I'm gonna wait until next. Anyway, I hope everyone has a great night. What I say, it keeps home. Oh yeah, I got that one. I hope everyone has a good night. What is 7:25? It's dinner time, y'all. Like Father, like Son, we out. I'm Mr. Unknown. We'll be here tomorrow, 6:30. In the words of Kojo the character, life's great no matter what. Catch you on the flip side. Peace, peace, peace.